Hey everyone, what up? Matt Kaiser here, and man, it is real, it is finally happening, as the rumors were true, that Tales of Xillia is finally getting remastered. This is something we've been expecting given the 2 leaks it got, but it's official and it's really looking good. I'm very excited. So I want to share all about why you should be excited for it, what the details this remaster will provide, and more, also gloss about the series' future as a whole and where we can expect it to go from now on. But before we begin, if you like what you're seeing, by all means, like the video, click the subscribe button if you're new, and hit that bell notification icon if you want more Tales news content from yours truly. With that said, let's get back to the video. Now, just yesterday, Bandai Namco unveiled the brand new trailer for what is the next Tales of Remaster, and that was, of course, Tales of Xillia. And this is being done by an outsourced studio known as Doki Doki Grooveworks, who's actually responsible for things like the Octopath Traveler mobile game, and is actually even working with Square Enix and the HD 2D Team Asano to do the upcoming Octopath Traveler 0. And what's really exciting is that this Tales of Xillia remaster is going to have some of the same level of treatment that the Tales of Grace of F remaster had. For example, it will have a whole load of quality of life features, with things like vivid graphical updates, the Great Shot being available during the very first playthrough, with having about 5,000 grey to use right off the bat, more than 40 DLC from the previous game that will be included, as well as an enemy encounter toggle function so you are able to skip through battles except for main story ones, as well as having a retry feature for regular battles, a dash toggle function, a destination icons to know where you're going, as well as subtitles available for both the battle scenes, mystic arcs, linked arts, and battle results, and icons especially for sub-events on the location and minimap, as well as other things like skippable cutscenes and skits, new icons for arts and recently acquired items, and a whole load of other things like additional voiceover settings like dual audio, especially for English and Japanese, key binding customization features, as well as the ability to switch camera distance on the map. So there's a lot to go through. It's going to be a really juicy remaster. And in terms when it comes to performance, especially on platforms, is officially coming on, of course, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PC, and Nintendo Switch, with both the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series one being the best one, where you can have up to 4K resolution and 60 FPS, with the Series S obviously bumping it down to 1440p, while for the PC version that is arguably the other best option, where you can have it up to 4K and you have the option to switch it to either 30, 60 or even 120 frames per second, just like with Tales of Grace F Remaster. However, for Switch, sadly it is only going to be available for either 180p on either docked or 720p for handheld, especially when it's going to be 30 FPS. Again, just like a Tales of Remaster, I'm a bit shocked that it is skipping, of course, PlayStation 4 as well as not like a native Nintendo Switch 2 port. But given with certain third-party games and the infamous keycard situation, I guess they didn't want to do that, but at least you can still play this on a Nintendo Switch 2, which is still a plus in my book. But yeah, this Tales of Xillia Remaster was really just an exciting thing to look at, and it really does seem that Bandai Namco is going to be putting some effort, especially when this game is actually coming this year on October 31st, 2025, which is honestly, that's probably the most surprising thing about this remaster, the fact that we got 2 Tales of Remasters in the exact same year. We got Tales of Grace F Remaster this January 16th, and now we're getting Tales of Xillia Remaster for October 31st, 2025, so basically Halloween, or should I call it Xilliaween. But yeah, overall, I'm just really excited for this. However, there is one big elephant in the room I know you guys are gonna ask. However, the big giant ball in the room is the matter that Tales of Xillia 2 hasn't been confirmed to be remastered. Now, I know some people were hoping that this would have, a collection where they can bundle both Tales of Xillia 1 and 2, just like they did with the PlayStation 3, as well as also given the fact that some companies do tend to remaster both of their games at the same time. Even Bandai Namco has done so with Baten Kaitos, but yeah, it really does suck that Bandai Namco hasn't officially confirmed that Tales of Xillia 2 is getting remastered, though I do suspect that given that we have both this and Grace's F for this year, I do imagine that it will be the next Tales game to be remastered, and they'll say that for next year to obviously, build up the hype. And if people who really liked Tales of Xillia Remaster will eventually want to try out Tales of Xillia 2 Remastered sometime next year, which I think that would be a good move, and to sort of branch and keep the hype and momentum of the Tales series provided. Now, obviously, that is Bandai Namco, and obviously that might put fear of some games not getting remastered since they are skipping sequels. But obviously, I still think that this is a good way to branch out and give time to eventually remaster the whole of the PlayStation 3 era, as obviously we have Tales of Symphonia, though you could still argue that was still from the Steam port, which is why we haven't got a remaster for Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World, because that game wasn't on Steam like Symphonia was. But we also got Tales of Despair that got its definitive edition. We got Tales of Grace's F, and of course we're getting Tales of Xillia. So eventually we are going to get Tales of Xillia 2 remastered. Some mentioned that we also have these wonderful, beautiful artwork by the late and great Mutsumi Inomata. This wonderful artwork of Judah Miller here to commemorate the Tales of Xillia Remastered, and that will be the box art, and man, it's just looking absolutely beautiful. Rest in peace, Inomata. You really did good, and we'll forever remember you. And obviously, the main big topic to talk about is what is going to happen to the future of the series now. Now, if we are going to take the fact that obviously we still are in line of waiting for what the next big Tales of game is, since we're coming up to Tales of Arise's 4th anniversary, which, good lord, it's been 4 years. So I do think sometime, maybe during the 30th anniversary celebration, sometime around December 2026, cause it's confirmed that the Tales of 30th anniversary will keep going until 2026 of next year, December 2026. So I do think around that time we will get the brand new announcement of the brand new next mainline Tales game, as around that time it'll be 5 years since Tales of Arise has come. So I do think that'll be a good time to finally reveal of what they are cooking. Now, obviously, for what they're going to do with Tales of Remasters, if they are going to remaster Xillia 2 next, and obviously give it the same treatment that both Tales of Grace's F and Tales of Xillia 2 got, I think that'll be really cool, that'll be awesome. Especially given the fact that obviously we have now 2 Tales of Remasters already this year, thanks to obviously being done by outsourced studios, so I do expect these to be a lot more efficient and quicker. So hopefully once Tales of Xillia 2 gets its remaster next year, around that, we could have maybe one of the games from either the PlayStation 2 era, the PlayStation Portable era, or even the PlayStation Vita era, or even say the PlayStation 1 era, where a lot of those Tales games, especially the ones that we never got in Japan, can get a remaster, or hell, even some of them can get, say, a remake. Like, I know a lot of people are still waiting for either Tales of the Abyss to get remade or remastered, and some desperately do want some of the Japanese exclusive mainline Tales games like Tales of Rebirth, Destiny, or even Fantasia would also get, a remaster. But that would have to be my take on it. I think this is a good thing for the Tales series, and hopefully we can keep up the momentum, especially next year. But honestly, this is really exciting. I'm very excitable about it. And honestly, I'm just glad for, more people to experience Tales, especially for those who got into Arise and want to know more about the series itself. So I do think this is still a W in my book. I do wish we obviously could have gotten Xillia 2 at the same time, but I think having Grace's F and Xillia in the same year is good enough in my book. But that'll be it for me. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Are you guys excited for Tales of Xillia Remastered? What do you guys think of waiting for Xillia 2 or whatever your favorite Tales game is to get the remaster? Are you guys going to get it soon? What platforms are you going to get on? Let me know down in the comments. Until then, special thanks to my patrons and Mad Kaiser out.